Well, we appreciate you being here. 21 years on the Chicago Police Department. In fact, you just told me you worked your shift last night in the 12th District.
Yes, sir.
And my question to you is, how does a cop, 21-year veteran cop, say, you know what, I want to turn the badge in and be mayor? How did that happen?
Well, you know what, I think it starts with a love for the city in which you serve and protect. And at a time when our city has a huge problem with crime and public safety, I think now is the appropriate time. And especially my expertise coming in.
Yeah, you were telling me before we came on that you're the kind of guy that gets involved in organizations and always been a leader, and that people have always looked at you in that way, right? Tell me more about that.
Yeah, you know, I grew up in the Henry Warner Project area on the Greater West Side of Chicago. But all my life, through my parents and through my church, I've always been involved in community service. Servicing the poor, working in food shelves, volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club, always active in education when it came to my children, and parent volunteer. And even today, I'm an elected local school council board member. So these things have always been a part of me, and I love our city and I love people.
One of the things you have stated is that the first thing you would do, or one of the first things you would do, would be replacing Superintendent Gary McCarthy. Why do you feel so strongly about that?
Well, we've got to really take a look at his failed policy since he came in. I think this current administration under Mayoral made a bad decision in bringing an outsider into a city that had huge problems, without considering those who are in the city and in the department, who have expertise and knowledge about culture. You know, the thing that makes Chicago such a great city isn't necessarily our agriculture, but it's our diversity in our language, in our communities. And those things you have to take into consideration when it comes to addressing the social ills in our community, such as poverty, such as our educational system, such as jobs. These things are all important. And to bring somebody into a culture in the city that they have no knowledge of puts us even further behind the eight ball. And as the next chief executive of this great city of ours, I'll hire and make a superintendent from within the department who loves this city, who was born and raised in the city.
Frederick, you also have strongly held beliefs about the state of education in Chicago. Give me your thoughts.
Well, our educational system is far behind the eight ball as well. We've got to understand that the greatest treasure we have in any community, in any city, is our children. That's where our deepest investment is. That's where our future is in. What I'm going to do as the next mayor of the city of Chicago is put my money where my mouth is when it comes to educating our children and protecting our children. That's what's important to me. That's my highest priority, in protecting our city, our children, and investing in their education.
Now, Frederick, some would say, many would say, in fact, that a guy like Frederick Collins, who really no one knows, doesn't have a shot here. What do you say to that?
Well, I say to them, then you have to resubmit that case. If you take a look around the country, many elections, as I'm sure you're aware of, have been won by those who have beaten the incumbents who have spent millions of dollars. I think what this election is going to come down to is really the people's voice, and to discuss with the current administration and the everyday politics. We've got to get rid of the machine politics. That's why my platform is about putting people over politics.
Frederick, it's great to meet you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Frederick Collins, candidate for the mayor, City of Chicago. We're back with more of Good Day Chicago in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us.